That's just really.
Did you leave the busser job for that?
Or did you graduate to that job?
I was working at, again, in Fort Collins, a front range brain and spine. I think I was like the file clerk.
Wait a second. You're telling me you gave up a job related to the medical field?
No. I worked both. At the same time,
all right.
yeah.
Thank you. Because
I
I'm
used to have to transport
files.
files. I used to have to transport people's x-rays of their brains and their spines
So she
from
was saving
Peoria Valley
lives.
Hospital to the clinic.
And then saving him.
And my
there's
Chuck E.
imagination.
Cheese visor would be like sitting on top of it in the back of my
right,
Ford
yeah.
Tempo. And
Nice.
I'm like, man, people have no idea how they're...
Rolling across town with the mouse head in the passenger seat. She's just like running late. Sorry.
We weren't allowed to take
the
the costume out of the building. That was a really big deal.
How was working
never
at Chuck E. Cheese? What kind of environment is that? I said that very condescending. I'm sorry. I just
for a guy who ate a bag of nuggets, yeah.
I had help.
I don't know about the judgment in the voice, man. It's harsh and my mellow.
Everything is cooked in one of those ovens where you just put something in on one end and then it just travels through for half an hour
Well,
and then
I
it
think
pops
all
out
pizza
on the other.
places do
Everything.
that, okay?
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay.
Pizza, pasta, salad, it's all...
Oh, yeah, I had to clean the salad bar. That is disgusting. I don't think
yeah.
anybody should ever eat at a salad bar.
Well.
You have no idea what's going on.
Wendy's had a
The
super bar.
17-year-olds that are cleaning it, not good.
I worked at Wendy's. We can tell disgusting stories if you want later.
Yeah.
I will just see it. Wendy's will go under for anybody that listens to the Juggernaut Brothers podcast.
Well, no worries there, I guess.
Yeah, no shit. Sadly enough,
Except for those 4 guys in Egypt. But they'll never eat Wendy's again.
Muhammad.
Muhammad.
They're all the name Muhammad in their name. It's the strangest thing. Go look on it. So
It's the most popular
And
name
they
in the
have,
world.
well, yeah,
and
but
it's
is
bizarre. They
Yeah.
all have sequential social security numbers too.
Seriously, I'll Google it.
it? Pull your phone out. We'll start googling.
Whoa,
shit right
whoa,
now.
whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, it's a phone. Sorry.
So Chuck E. Cheese. So you were working 2 jobs during the Chuck E. Cheese job.
Yeah. I was working at a doctor's office because I didn't want to work at... Oh, I didn't want to work
Dr.
at
Chuck.
Target anymore? Is that where I didn't want to work?
You never gave me a number. How many jobs have you had?
See,
I
I
want to
get
say
that.
8
Yeah.
or 9.
Wow.
I gotta be up there somewhere too.
Yeah. I worked at Target. I worked in a
I've been
restaurant.
fired
I worked as a
I've been fired
waitress.
from some really
I made bank as a waitress.
Where was the waitress at?
That was at the Sundance, which is the cowboy bar.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
people
drunk
would tip.
cowboys love to
people,
tip.
Who tips the hostess? Who would ever tip the... I wouldn't tip the hostess.
Only people with class.
I never even
Explains why
put my
Moose
jar
doesn't
out.
Goddamn right I don't.
Yeah, damn right I don't. You're getting paid.
The last night I worked there, I got tipped $120 from 2 different guys.
Really?
Holy crap.
Is that what they're calling it now?
Yeah. No, horny guys. That's who tipped the.
It was they must have been late 70s, early 80s.
That's
yeah.
still.
And-
I still stand by
yeah.
my. I still stand by
No,
my.
that's exactly why you said what you said. Yeah.
It was kind of a sweet story when
To you,
they
it
were
was
leaving.
sweet.
Well, when they were
The
leaving,
conversation in the car after they
I
left
want to
the
tell the
Sundance.
story.
Let her finish, Bob.
When they were leaving, this guy was like, I want to give you a tip. And I was like, I was reading a book. Not even doing a good job as being a hostess. And I was like, okay, totally expecting to be like, don't eat yellow snow.
Better he said a tip than just a tip.
Well, he hands me a $20 bill, which is amazing when you're only making, $2 an hour or whatever.
Nice.
And his friend's like, why are you tipping this girl? He said, you know what? This is the nicest girl that works in this place.
Nice.
Yeah. And so his friend's like, well, I want to give you a tip also. And I'm just waiting for it. And he hands me a $100 bill.
He upstages his buddy.
Yeah. And I mean, we're talking late 70s. And I tried to give it back to him. And he goes, darling, you probably need it more than I do. And I did.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I walked away with $120 that night.
Kirsten,
it was great.
we're going to do a little improv. Me and Bob Gaudet, okay? I'm the first old man. He's second old man. Here's the conversation went down. You go start. You're the $20. I'm the $100.
Yeah, well, in the car on the way home?
Yeah, we're walking out.
Yeah, walking out. Nice. 100, really?
I'm going to hit that shit someday. You watch me, Carol. You watch. That girl looks at my ass. Every time I go in there, she's looking at my ass.
Get in the car, Carl. Get in the car.
You've always been jealous. Your wife died 2 years ago. Mine was 4 years ago. I tell you, that's the Chuck E. Cheese chick right there. I tell you, I can see an ass through the mouse costume. I'm going to hit it.
I'd like to shove that
That's what
tail
happens.
up
That
Men are
ruined
pigs.
that memory. So
Kirsten,
thanks.
let me explain something to you. Men are all pigs, and that's why I refuse to date one. That's the reason why, okay? Because they're all
Don't date
pigs.
men.
That's right, they're pigs.
Good call.
But bacon's delicious.
That's why we don't worry about mad cow disease.
Here's a caca story. I worked at a nightclub in Pueblo. I was the bartender for many years. And there was an old homeless guy who used to live out in the storm drain out back. They had this big, like, concrete ditch. And Papa Jack was an old Vietnam veteran. He was a huge alcoholic, but a good friend of mine. And him and I had this little thing. First of all, the homeless guy would always take the biggest shit right outside the back door of the club. So Papa Jack, every day, every night when we leave, he's all, "Hey, Larry, go see if the midnight shitter struck again." It was like our little thing. It was like our little... Papa Jack passed away. And no, I just found that last time I was in Pueblo. I went to go look for him.
All right.
Because he used to threaten to kill me every day. He'd be so drunk. I'd say, "Give me your keys." "I'll kill you." "Fuck you," then drive.
Yeah,
But you can
Fair enough.
see if the midnight shitter struck again. And he always did that. And then when it rained real bad, he'd be flushed out of his home for a couple of days. And
Did he have a son that moved to Laramie?
I don't...
Shitting on buses.
I'm telling you.
Taking his act on the road, as it were.
Well done, sir.
I
Well
don't
done.
know why, but I got a lot of shit. I got a lot of shit stories that got to do with work. We'll get to them in a little bit, though.
I know.
So,
Jesus.
And it moves so slow. Sorry.
so what's the job you ever been fired?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like a couple times or what?
I got fired from a job where I had been there for about a month. I had like 60 days left before I could get in the union. And I was fired for excessive absenteeism. Yeah, I was in high school and I had a girlfriend and she was a lot more fun than my job. That's the truth. That's the absolute truth. And I would come up with excuses. And it's like anything else. You do it and then you don't realize how often you've done it until they lay it out in front of you and you're like, wow, that's insane.
That's legitimate. Yeah, I agree with you. I would have done it a while ago.
Exactly. Like, I can't believe you actually let me come in here today. Like, they actually, and what she said was, and the lady was kind of a bitch. She really was kind of a bitch.
I mean, she fired me in the end, so.
Yeah.
Oh, Bob, you missed 4 months of work out of
No,
5
I know,
months.
right? Yeah. Well, I was only there for a month, and I did actually miss about 4 months of work. But
Wow.
like, if you were to add the hours all up, it would come. So she's like, "Look, we're done. We're done here, but we're gonna give you 2 weeks. We're essentially giving you 2 weeks notice, so that you can look for another job."
That's nice, though.
And
Right.
it was, and the problem was that I was an idiot high school kid who didn't realize that that's what it was.
Fuck your 2 weeks, I'm out.
So I was like, fine. So I went and I was hanging out in the kitchen that I worked in.
You
and
called
I
in
was
sick
like-
the next day, didn't
no,
you?
No, I ended up walking out that day because I went. I was at my kitchen doing my stuff, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go say hi to Bill for a while." And Dan's like, "Dude, don't let him catch you walking around." And I was like, "What are they gonna do? Fire me?" So I wandered away, and I was talking to some people and everything. And then here comes the lady, and she's like, "Hey, where are you supposed to be at right now?" I was like, "Oh, I'm on Hawthorne too, but I was just saying hi to somebody." She's like, "Well, you really should be back in the kitchen." And I was like, "What are you going to do, fire me?"
You told her that.
I did. I said, "What are you going to do,
Attaboy.
fire me?" She said, "Look, we gave you the 2 weeks so that you could get yourself squared away." I was like, "All right, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. I'll go back." And she goes, "What?" I said, "You know what? You're right. I'm sorry. I'll take your 2 weeks." And she goes, "Okay, well, you're going to need to get back to the kitchen. Otherwise, I have to write you up for desertion of post." I went, "Fuck you, cunt." Kicked the door open and walked out.
Did you really? How
I
old
did.
are you at this point?
17.
So
18.
proud of it for years.
18. No,
Still
it was
to
just
this
so.
day, very
It was
proud of that moment.
it was terrible.
I've been
But that's
slinging,
I think
I got a job slinging papers tomorrow, bitch. I don't know.
right. I can go back to North Shore Sunday, make $4.50 a week. Think I can't live on that?
Kirsten, you ever been let go of a job?
Yeah, I got fired by my mom.
Doing what?
Kirsten for the win.
Yeah, you win. What were you doing for your
10
mom?
years ago, 11 years ago, actually, I was managing another building. I'm working for her again, by the way. That's my side job.
Okay.
I was living with my boyfriend. I was all of 19 or 20 years old,
Okay.
and she was living in Hawaii. So we were running some of her buildings here,
Okay.
and she came back for a week. And she's like, "I hired this guy. I found him down at the shelter, and he's, you know what?
Sounds
I
like a
wanna-"
lost dog.
I know, she's like, "But I really want to give him a chance. I think he's doing a really good job, and so far, by working for me, he's earned enough to put down a down payment." And then she just put him in the building, and then she went back to Hawaii. And this guy, it was a really interesting building. It's right in downtown Fort Collins. There's only 4 bathrooms in the whole building. There's 19 apartment units.
Okay.
So everybody shares. He locked himself in one of the bathrooms and took a bath for 10 hours. And he flooded the bathroom below him, and one of the retail shops right on Linden Street.
Wow.
And I was like, this sucks. This is the second time you've done something like this to me.
Second time.
And I don't like this anymore. And so she came back, and so the boyfriend that I had at the time, him and I and her were in a meeting, and we walked away from that meeting knowing that we had to move out of the building. I was like, well, we got fired. He's like, no, we quit. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we got fired.
So is that awkward to make things? How close was this to like a major holiday, Kirsten?
Oh, we did not speak for 6 months. I think it was probably around Valentine's Day when this happened.
Just out of curiosity, did she let the other dude stay?
You know what? I actually have no idea. I didn't tell my mom where I was living. I was still living in Fort Collins. I didn't tell anybody where I was living. She didn't know until my cat almost died.
So Kirsten, here's how Moose solves this problem.
Welcome to Moose's management.
Yeah, solve it, Moose.
Here's what I do.
You should meet my mom now.
Someday,
She hot?
that's just what I thought. Is she mean? Is she badass?
I would say badass for sure.
Here's what I do. Someday,
tough. She's a tough lady.
She'll succumb to something. Hopefully, when she's 100 and some years old, she lives a long, great life.
104.
Okay.
That's on average what the women in my family live to.
Wow. How about the
know.
men?
82.
You don't want to know why?
Fuck that. 12 and a half.
So someday, when she's on her deathbed and she needs something, Kirsten, lean
That's
over and you all.
50 years from now.
Fine. But she'll tell you, Kirsten, I need something, and you tell her, why don't you call your fucking homeless friend? That's what I would tell her.
Where's Brian now?
Yeah.
Huh?
Taking a 12-hour shower. That's where Brian is now. Call him, Mom. That's how Moose would.
Good.
Moose,
Yeah.
if you ever
Moose solves everything.
if you ever said that to your mother,
Oh, well, I wouldn't. She's never fired me, though. She's actually put up with my shit.
motherfucker, you wouldn't say that to her 6 months after she died, because she'd sit right the fuck up and slap the shit out of you.
She's. I'm a mama's boy bad.
She's a wonderful, sainted woman who will whoop your ass if you cross her.
She will, but she's got the flu, something awful right now. She's sicker than dog. So I always call her and say, do you need something from the store? And blah, blah, blah. And she's driving my Corolla right now because hers is in the shop, so she's just driving my car. And I'm driving my old Explorer. So I get into the car today to come up here, and it smells like a hospital. I go, I call her, so she's like, I disinfected it so you wouldn't get my cold, honey. I go, oh. And put gas in it. I go, fine, Mom, fine. You know, it's like, anyway, she'll be on her deathbed someday, Kirsten. That's when you score it. That's when you score up, and that's when you square off the deal. Okay. That's what Moose would do.
That's good advice to have.
Air been canned, bro.
I told you that twice. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Either people are getting fired for being cool. I'm always punctual 15 minutes before work, trying to get there.
Have you seen the movie Friday?
What's that?
You ever seen the movie Friday?
Yeah.
You get to be one stupid MF to get fired on your day off. Come on, you got fired from a paper route where you were a backup, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That was my choice, sir.
And I stand by it.
I stand by it.
I believe it was Alice Cooper who once said civil disobedience.
I used to work for a beer company at one point in time.
Who shall remain nameless.
Budweiser homos. Anyway, so
Is that a new brand?
yeah, so they got bought out. They laid off 10% of the company in 2009. My buddy worked up here as a salesman. I was a salesman back in Morgan County, and he calls me and goes, you won't believe what's going on. They are laying off people right and left down here. It's awful. My words to him were all, well, sucks to be you assholes. I got to get back to work. Here comes a phone call half hour later. Mr. Lundstrom, can you come back to the office? Eat a dick. So,
as soon as I finish all the beer in the truck.
but I wasn't sure, and they're lucky.
Hang on, I just have to put some stuff in my car.
They're lucky I didn't know her, and I would have been the midnight shitter in that van. I'd have hooked them up. So they get there, and it was the worst. I've never been let go of a job before. And they're like, we appreciate everything. I said, yeah, what's the deal? What am I getting a check or what's happening?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I got to go drink a bunch of Coors Light tonight. Up your ass. You know what I mean? Only time I ever lost a job. I mean, I came close.
Yeah.
I have flirted with that line a few times, but you know,
myself as well.
and that's my second. Can I tell my second shit story?
Go for it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm driving a truck for Budweiser.
Knowing who this kid is going to be growing up into.
I don't know.
Preview.
If I should tell him, fuck him.
Right.
So I'm driving this truck for Budweiser, and the thing with truck drivers are, when you have to take a shit or you have to use the restroom, you know the safe spots. You know where you would like to go when you're traveling over the road. So I'm driving to Ray, Colorado, and Mother Nature knocks on my back door. So I'm thinking.
Which is better than serving that no-knock warrant after the burrito at the gas station.
Yes.
Rough stuff, yeah.
So I got to go. And I'm about 7-8 miles out of Yuma. Truck breaks down. All the lights start flashing. Everything's like an airplane going down. And I go, shit. So I pull over to the side of the road.